Okay, let's see. Okay, today we're gonna start with, if you have one of these mini bands, I think we did this last week maybe too, but one of these mini bands, if you have one of these, so if you don't have one, that's fine. And if you have a bigger band, you might be able to like step on it and use it that way. Okay. Like, at least for the side steps, we're just gonna do some side steps, which you can just pretend you have a band. But also a bigger band might work for side steps if you just like step on it. You could like hold it at the sides and then kind of like do your side steps, stepping on it. This might work. If it doesn't work, that's fine. But otherwise you'll put the band kind of between your shins and your knees. And we're just gonna do 8 to the right, 8 to the left side steps. And then we're gonna come down to the floor. I'll leave the band where it's at if you have one. And we're gonna do some of our clamshells, and you can also do these without a band. And if you wanna add some resistance to these and you don't have a band, you could use like a really light weight, even just like a change plate or something could work. And you can like kind of brace it on the top of your leg here, and then kind of like slowly lower it back down. Again, just if you don't have a band. And same thing, 8 reps. Also, you can just pretend band. Such a strong band. And then you gotta resist it on the way back down. Just opening up your hips, leaving your bottom leg just flat on the floor. And do 8 per side. Oh my gosh, my hips are being really loud right now. Just popping one. Okay, and then we're gonna, if you have the band, it's gonna go around your feet now. But we're gonna come on over onto your hands and knees, and we're gonna do our bird dogs, which again, you can do these without the band as well. And we'll alternate reps on these, and we'll do 8 per side or 16 total. And then we're just gonna do that all one more time. Side steps, clam shells, bird dogs. 8 per side or 16 total. Whew. Side steps, clam shells, 8 per side. It's been fun getting used to being able to see everybody back here because I can see you a lot better. But now I'm not really facing you. I'm like, okay, how's everybody doing? Oh, I can see so great. And then it was those bird dogs, which you can do with or without the band. Once you finish that, we're gonna use a light dumbbell for the next part. I think these ones are like 8 pounds, so like something light. And if you don't have like a light dumbbell, you could use, maybe you have like a little plate that's light, like a 5 pound like plate, or maybe like a book or something. But we're gonna start with plank slides. And so again, just nice and light, and we're gonna do 16 alternating reps. So you're just holding this plank, and then you'll drag your weight across, place it to that same side, and then drag the other one across. And if you're kind of still warming up, you can do these ones on your knees if you want. And just sliding that dumbbell across. Try to keep your midline tight, not letting your hips or shoulders rock back and forth too much as you're sliding across. And again, 16 reps, alternating. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and stand up after you finish those 16 alternating reps. And we're gonna do a high pull, and so your feet, you'll just be standing with your feet under your hips, bracing your midline, and just using your arm to pull your light dumbbell up to your shoulder, keeping your elbow up high. And then hopefully you have something really light. And you could also do these with a band, stepping on it. And then, I mean, if you have a big band, you can like pull up and do your high pull with the bands as well. We'll do 8 per side. And get nice and light, just elbow up. And really good, bracing your midline, belly button to spine. And 8 per side. There's no tempo or anything, just nice and steady at your own pace. Try and keep your elbow up high. And your shoulder blades down and back. It's not really a shrug. And then whatever your light weight is, you're gonna put it on your back. And you're gonna just kind of hold it there any way that's comfortable. And we're gonna do a good morning. So keeping your hips high, your back flat, just a soft bend in your knees. You're gonna just bow forward, nice and slow and steady, and then back up. And if you don't wanna do these with the weight, you could just put your hands on your head. And again, just bowing forward, trying to keep your back flat, and just getting as low as you can while keeping your back flat, shoulder blades down and back, hips high. Just kind of stretching out those hamstrings. And we're gonna do 8 reps. And then we're gonna gonna do one more time through on this one too. So the plank slides, the high pulls, and then the good mornings. And it was 8 per side, or just 8 good mornings. And just nice and slow and steady is good. Plank slides, and then your high pulls. Nice. Oh my gosh, Chloe, I forgot you have those dumbbells. I was like, oh, I recognize that sandbag that Chloe's using. That's perfect for this. And then the good mornings. Whew. Okay, then maybe some water. And for the next part, you can have like a box or a bench or something like that, but we're gonna just be kind of like resting on it. So you also don't really need it if you don't have that available to you. And you don't need to like step on it or jump on it. So you can kind of use a handful of different items. And you can start with something nice and light. And basically you're gonna take a slightly, if your weight is in your right hand, we're gonna do a bent over row, but it's gonna be a 3-point bent row, so you're gonna have 1 point on your bench or whatever you're working with. So you kind of take a step back a little bit with the arm you're working with, the leg is the same side, we'll be stepping back. And then you'll, again, put a lot of your weight, or like half your weight, on this bench or whatever you're using. And then you'll pull up to your chest for that bent over row. And we're gonna do these at a tempo, so you're gonna hold for 2 at the top, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi on the way down, and then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi at the bottom, and then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi back up. And so when you're here at the bottom, it's like a tight hold at the bottom where you're pinning your shoulders down and back. You're making sure you're tight in your midline and your back is nice and flat. And so that's kind of why we're using this bench, is to really like help hold yourself up so you can really keep your back nice and flat the whole way through and stay focused on the tempo. And so for the first time through, you can just pick something nice and light. This can be like our warm-up set, and we're gonna do four per side, because it's that slow tempo. So again, 2 on the way up, 2 at the top, 2 on the way back down, and then 2 on the bottom. Switch sides. Do 4 per side. Again, try to keep that back really flat. You're gonna come down to the floor. And you're gonna have both hands on your weight, and it'll start up over your chest. And then you're just gonna lower it down over your head and try to keep your arms straight. I'm only gonna do this with one arm, but you just reach over your head, keeping your arms straight, and then pull back up over your chest. And so keeping your arms straight on these. And for these, we're gonna do 6 reps. And you're just gonna go back 2, and then up 2. So you don't need to hold at the bottom or at the top for 6 reps, but nice and steady. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi for 6 reps. Yeah, and you can do those with both arms. So both hands on your weight. And then we're just gonna go back to your bent row. And so if that round felt good, you can add weight if you have that available to you. And we'll just do 4 sets. So that was the first round, kind of as like a warm-up practice round, and now you have 3 more to go. And again, if you wanna go up in weight, you totally can. Maybe. And you can also kind of like increase as you go. You know, maybe do a little bit heavier this round and then even heavier the next round, especially if you have like a selection. But if not, you know, you can just keep that same weight, and that works too. And again, we're gonna do 4 reps, and these ones you hold for 2 at the bottom and at the top for 4 reps. Everything's 2. For 4 reps per side. And then these ones are called pullovers because you're kind of pulling it over your chest. And you get both hands on your weight. You can go up in weight if you want, but I'm just doing them with one arm. And these ones are 6 reps at a steady pace. 2, 2, and then no hold. 2, 2. Woo. And then again, taking breaks as you need, working and resting. And we'll do 2 more sets. Again, just kind of at your own pace. We have plenty of time. Also on these, if you want, depending on how you're holding your weight, you could maybe change it up depending on what you have. So like, if you're holding a dumbbell and your palms were like facing away from you on the last few, see how it feels to like turn your palms facing towards you, or to hold it by the ends with your palms facing each other. Can you change your grip? And then that'll kind of change the position of your shoulder up overhead. And so kind of open up your shoulder in a different way. So you can try feeling that out. See if it changes for you. Just if you want. And also maybe you have something that can really only be held one way. That's totally fine too. Or maybe you can only do it one way. Okay, I think there's one more set. That was the last round of that part. But we have like 1 more minute to finish up if you're still working. Okay, and then the next, we're gonna do another 2 movements, kind of the same thing. We'll have like about 10 minutes to do 4 sets of another 2 movements. And the next 2 are gonna be a sumo deadlift for 8 reps. And for these ones on the sumo deadlift, you're gonna take like a wide stance with like outside your shoulders. And when we do the sumo deadlifts, your like range of motion is decreased a little bit through your hinge, and you get a little bit more help through your legs as you stand. And so that can be what is a good way to like kind of progress them into like a deadlifting sequence, because you get a little bit of help with your legs. So take that wide stance, And we'll start with the weight at your waist, so you can go ahead and pick it up and get both hands on it. And keeping your shoulder blades down and back, you're gonna just kind of bow forward until that weight gets to about your knees, and then you'll bend your knees to finish down just to about like mid shin. It doesn't have to come all the way to the ground, depending on what you're working with. You know, maybe you're already to the ground if you're holding something a little bit bigger. And then again, you kind of like use your legs to push into the ground to stand until you get to about your knees, and then you'll open up your hips, sending your hips through to finish up in a standing position. So again, you're kind of bowing forward, using mostly your hips, keeping your hips high, bowing forward until you get to your knees, bending your knees to finish, and then standing up through. So your chest stays up a little bit more in the sumo deadlift than in more of a conventional deadlift, or like our good mornings. And so for these reps, we're gonna do a 2 on the way down, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, don't hold, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, back up. And we're gonna do 8 reps. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Chardy, can you show that from the side so that I can see your knee angle?
Yes. So like bowing forward to here. Oh, sorry, I need a wider stance also. So yeah, like bowing forward to here and then like bending your knees, standing.
Okay. Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I can kind of like see myself in the TV too. I'm like, okay, am I doing it right? But yeah, so your chest kind of stays up a little bit more as you're doing these. Okay, again, 8 reps on those. And then we'll do a staggered stance RDL, like our walking deadlift, and we'll do 16 reps. And there's no tempo on these ones, just kind of slow and steady, but you'll take that soft step forward, just a little step. So now your stance is more narrow, your feet are closer together, you're gonna have a soft bend in your knees, and now you're really gonna like bow forward, like let that chest come down towards the ground, and then back up again. And you don't really need to get past your knees, you'll just bow forward, keeping your hips high, and back up. And again, there's no tempo, we're just gonna do 16 reps. A little rest, and we'll do 3 more rounds. And after you get a little break, you can do the next set whenever you feel ready. And it was 8 sumo deadlifts and then 16 walking deadlifts. And your sumo deadlifts, make sure you're doing that nice kind of 2 on the way down, 2 on the way up tempo. And the walking deadlifts, you can do it whatever tempo you want. And we'll do 3 more sets in the next like 8 minutes. I want to use the kettlebell for this one actually. 2 more minutes to finish this part. Nice. Nice job. It looks good. You're doing a great job. Like something else that's fun about doing those deadlifts, like starting with the weight at the top, is like, I think from the bottom, when you just think like stand up, the path of the dumbbell is maybe more like automatic. But when you start at the top and you kind of are thinking like, okay, am I just like squatting straight down, or am I like kind of hinging and then bending my knees? And then it kind of gives you more direction on the way up, like when you're driving through your legs, and like when to engage your glutes to like squeeze your hips forward. Anyway, it's I feel like every rep is like a little bit different in terms of like when I drive through. Just kind of like thinking about it that way. Okay, anyway, moving on. Next, okay, we are going to use the box though, which I should have said earlier when I was talking about leaning on this, because we are going to do some jumps now. So grab your favorite box. My favorite one is this blue one. And we're going to have a 3-minute timer. We're going to be like, ready, set, go. You're going to have 3 minutes to do as many rounds as you can of 10 kettlebell swings, 10 jumps. And so you're just gonna have 3 minutes to do that as many times as you can. And remember on your swings, I always like to start with that height, but then you're gonna try to just stand up tall, not leaning back. Really, again, like squeezing your glutes in, standing up tall, but not leaning back. So in this upright position, it's kind of like a standing plank. You're bracing your midline, and you're almost pulling that kettlebell back down, rather than kind of letting it swing you back and then letting it pull you back forward. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna rest 1 minute, and then you're gonna do as many rounds as you get, as fast as you can. And maybe it will be 3 minutes, maybe not. But so just as a look forward, that's kind of what we're going to do. Okay, we're gonna start in 10 seconds. 10 swings, 10 jumps. 3, 2, 1, go! And you can swing that kettlebell however high you want. Try to get all the way onto your box and stand up tall. Landing soft if you can. One minute done, 2 to go. one more minute. Seconds. Ten more seconds. Three, two, one. Okay, 1 minute rest.
I gotta run. Bye, y'all. Thanks.
Bye. Good seeing ya. And so if you did 3 rounds, you're just gonna do 3 rounds now as fast as you want. Or if you did 3 rounds plus 2 reps, then do 3 rounds plus 2 reps. And we're gonna go again in 30 seconds. All right, 10 more seconds. Yes. Okay, however many rounds you got last time. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh my gosh. Wow, we're at 3 minutes right now. That was great. Okay, optional cool down activity. Optional. Grab 2 of your weights or 1 weight in one hand. And we're just gonna walk around with it for 3 minutes. And then we'll stretch. Again, totally optional. Try to keep your shoulder blades down and back, belly button to spine. And if you have 1 weight, you could just switch hands like every length or every lap or whatever you're doing. But we're just gonna walk with these weights until the clock gets to 10. Yes. Oh my gosh, good job everybody. I know everyone wanted to just like melt on the ground for a little bit, but a little cool down is nice. 2 more minutes. And yeah, take your breaks totally as you want. Absolutely okay to set them down. And try to bring your heart rate down a little bit. Take some nice deep breaths. Oh my gosh, give yourself a little imaginary pat on the back. We did so much work today. Good job, everybody. Ooh, I might not make it. I have to set these down. Don't spill. Your weights are actually buckets full of your most favorite liquid, and you really don't want it to spill. 1 more minute. So good, nice job. Thirty more seconds. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Nice. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, wow, wow. Thanks everybody for doing that with me. I gotta roll out my wrists a little bit.
I knew something funky was gonna come at the end.
You do it. You do it. Yeah.
It's not a hollow though. Thursday, but no hollow.
Yeah, what the heck? That was weird.
Who's this Chardy? What have you done with them?
I know, yeah. I was like, maybe it's time to like take a week off from our hollow holds.
I will say Chardy doing the arm stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I've gotten stronger in the last year, like being able to do that.
Yeah. And it's like, we use our arms like in our back so much more than we think, or I do anyway, more than I think. Because like when you're throwing and stuff, like that's all your back and your arm, like it's like, feels like we're just running, but, and like when you're pumping your arms, you know, like all that stuff. Diving. And just general like balance in your body. Ooh.
Thanks so much, Chardy.
You're so welcome.
Have a good day, y'all.
Yes, have a great day.
Thanks, Chardy.
You're welcome.
Bye, Tina.
So good to see everybody. It looks like you had the whole gym today. You weren't alone this morning. That's great.
Bye.
Bye.
Child, I also have to run because I have to shower and eat breakfast before my 9:30, so I'm on a little bit of a rush. But
Yep, bye.
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Enjoy your shower and your breakfast and your whole day.
You too. Say
Bye.
hi to the dog and the bunnies.
Yes.
And the chickens.
Yes.
Everybody.
The whole menagerie.
Yeah. And Rory.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna do a couple extra stretches if you wanna stick around. Just a little lying knee hug. And then pull this knee across. Try to keep your shoulder blades on the ground. Okay, switch sides and just knee hug first. Got distracted. And now cross that knee over. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground. Whew. Wowie. Zowie. Alright, one more stretch in this kind of kneeling position. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that back foot and try to push your hips forward, chest up. And if you're having a hard time grabbing your foot, you could use your band, loop around your foot. And it's easier to hold. Even a big band would work. Switch legs. We get hips forward.
Thanks so much for joining and love you. Have a good day.